Hello, my name is Sara Rodriguez, and this is task 4 and it's a speaking assignment. So right now I want to tell you about the effects of technology on the environment. Well, as you know, technology has advanced very quickly, but with new technologies, new problems have arisen, and the environment has suffered the most with these new technological advances. We can't deny that technology has brought many benefits to society as new ways of transportation and communication. But with all of that new things and benefits, the environment problems are becoming more and more notorious. So right now, I'm going to explain the positive and the negative effects of the technology on the environment. Well, the most notorious negative effects are air pollution. Right now in Colombia, in the big cities like Medellin and Bogota, we can see that this is a huge problem, and a lot of people are getting sick for the air pollution. Other negative effect is the damage to the ozone layer, the extraction of oil that affects the layers of the earth, the pollution of the rivers that contaminate the water that we drink, the excess of garbage and plastic in the oceans that is produced for us and for the industries, and the climate change, which is produced by the increase of CO2 in the environment. All this is because the industries make use of natural resources to the point to almost finish them. They have abuse of the rivers, they have cleared forests to produce articles, or have more space for houses. Uh, we need to understand that every day more people are born and the world population grows. So every day increases the need to have more space to live. That is why more and more space is taken from the nature, and with this, our vital resources are reduced because uh, it's just a simple thing. More people mo- need more space for living, for houses. So the earth isn't the earth doesn't get uh, bigger and bigger. No, the people just take the space of the nature, and this is what we are seeing now. So there is also the damage caused by the cars and the ways of transportation, which unfortunately we have to use every day. All this has been given by the advance in the technology, which has increased the productivity of industries, driven by a consumer society, which every day wants to have more and more without stopping a minute to think where the product they bought came from and what had to be done or what environmental resources had to be used to build this up. But not everything is negative. So I want to tell you about the positive effects of the technology in the environment. So technology has brought also good things. And now there is a lot of awareness about the environment. This is why in the last decade, new methods have been generated to obtain energy, which are possible thanks to technology. The renewable energies are one of the changes that have been implemented through the world to mitigate the negative impact of the past decades. is a step that has been taken to improve the environment, which is the home of all of us. So I consider that if current trends of technology development and consumerism continue, we will face a disaster. The environmental damage will be irreversible, pollution will be drowned, the oxygen level will be less and less, we will not to have clean water for consumption. The animals, the animals will suffer from the lack of the water and food, and obviously not just the animals. People too will be suffer for lack of water and food. So the lack of basic and vital resources will generate a war where the strongest nations will keep the last resources. Well, the technological advance, is not bad. It's just we haven't learned how to reduce the damage, or we haven't learned how to use the sources that we have for mitigate the damage. So we must change the habits of consumption, um, and the way of thinking is the only way. Being more aware of what surrounds us and of the future of humanity. If we don't do, if we don't do this, the environment will not resist, and the world and the society that we know will collapse. So we can contribute as a society, changing our habits and ways of thinking, being more aware and having strict laws that control industries and consumption. We need to learn about appreciate the environment and the nature is a vital resources for all of us. So how to mitigate the environmental damage? How we can mitigate the environmental damage? So United Nations and the governments around the world should apply strategies that help industries to be more productive but without damaging the ecosystems. So, can establish environmental friendly policies rewarding industries that have environmental responsibility and their process use technologies that reduce environmental impact. So, I recommend that governments take action and start with the implementation of sustainable development. So the responsibility is not just in the governments and in the industries, it's in the society too, and the people, because every action that we take in our daily routine, in our day, have consequences. So we have to start to think in a more responsible way about the things that our habits, our consumption, and our way to buy things, and if we waste water or food, all these have consequence, and we need to be more more responsible in the actions that we make as individuals in a society. So this is the finish of the presentation for for English for the speaking assignment. Thanks for listening and thanks for watching, and goodbye.